so excited to talk to you was because I wanted to understand the tragedy in your life and how you dealt with it. And you're the kind of leader I love.
Here is Howard Stern, and this is so disappointing. I worked at Sirius XM. It was my first real media gig. I had a show on Sirius XM. I've loved Howard since he was on AM radio back in the early 80s. It was like one of my heroes. I've had multiple dreams of being on the Howard Stern show. It was the only show I wanted to get on when we were doing my first book tour. But he has just become a Democrat mouthpiece. Trump derangement syndrome, COVID crazy, everything else. Here's an interview with the elderly man pretending to be president. Just look at the body language of Biden, his hand, just everything about this. Ugh.
You know, the reason I'm so excited to talk to you was because I wanted to understand the tragedy in your life and how you dealt with it. And you're the kind of leader I love because we're lucky to have you in the Oval Office and serving as the father of the country. Because if you're a good father to your family, which you are, I know you'd be a good father to the country. And I want to thank you for providing a calming influence, an organized administration post-COVID, getting that vaccine out. I remember what the world was like at that point, getting NATO, getting us to feel comfortable, standing up to Putin, the incredible large growth in the jobs, unemployment rate down. I'll give you your greatest hits. The lowest uninsured rate in history. 4 out of 5 Americans are covered for less than $10 a month. Knocking off a few ISIS leaders, cutting the emissions in half. I mean, you've always been an environmentalist.
I don't think anyone wants to picture Joe Biden getting a blow, but that's what you just saw. That was horrible and disgusting, running cover for this man and purposely talking a lot so that Joe Biden doesn't have to speak. It's unclear whether Joe Biden even knows where he is during that. But to even say he's a good father, look, I don't know all the ins and outs of how he was as a father, but we do know that his granddaughter thought that he maybe molested her. We do know that his son became a crackhead. You know, Donald Trump, for all his flaws, I know several of his children and the spouses of the children, and they all love the guy. And I've seen them around the guy, and it's like they're all successful and not drug addicts and everything else. So would Howard Stern ever say that Donald Trump is a good father? And by the way, Joe Biden, you're not my father. You're not the father of the country. You are the confused uncle who we try to have leave dinner early because he's saying some stuff that nobody wants to hear.